What's the moment in court that made everyone go completely silent? My dad worked construction for 15 years, building houses across 3 counties. Had his own small crew, just 4 guys who'd been with him since the beginning. They did good work, never cut corners, always finished on time. Then this developer hired them for a big project. 12 houses in a new subdivision outside Phoenix. Biggest job my dad ever landed, worth $240,000. They worked on it for 5 months straight, sunrise to sunset, weekends included. My dad even took out a loan to buy extra equipment because the developer kept pushing for faster completion. Said there were buyers waiting. Said he'd pay a bonus if they finished early. So my dad pushed his crew harder than ever. They finished 3 weeks ahead of schedule. Every house passed inspection, everything up to code, no issues whatsoever. But when my dad submitted the final invoice, the developer went completely silent. Calls went straight to voicemail, emails bounced back, the office was suddenly closed for renovations. 2 weeks passed and a month. My dad had bills piling up, equipment loan payments, payroll for his crew that he'd already paid from his own savings, figuring the developer's check would cover it. Then the lawsuit arrived. The developer was suing my dad for $180,000, claiming faulty workmanship, structural defects, code violations. Said he had to hire another crew to fix everything. Said buyers were backing out because of my dad's shoddy work. My dad couldn't believe it. The courthouse was packed when we showed up. The developer brought his lawyer, some guy in a $3,000 suit carrying a briefcase that probably cost more than my car. He had a whole presentation ready with photos of cracked foundations, uneven floors, electrical problems. But those photos weren't from my dad's job. They couldn't be, because my dad took progress photos every single day and documented everything. His lawyer kept trying to explain this, but the developer's lawyer talked over him. Louder, more confident, more prepared. He had inspection reports showing violations, statements from 3 different contractors who claimed they had to redo my dad's work, invoices showing he'd already paid $95,000 to fix the damages. It looked terrible for us. My dad just sat there looking completely defeated. He'd already lost 20 pounds from stress, wasn't sleeping, could barely function. Mom said he'd wake up at 3 a.m. just staring at the ceiling. The business he'd spent 15 years building was done. Even if he won, his reputation was destroyed and nobody would hire him after this. The developer's lawyer called his first witness, some inspector who claimed he'd failed the electrical work twice. This guy had a whole story ready with dates, specific violations, detailed notes. He sounded incredibly credible and professional. The judge was nodding along, taking notes. Everything felt hopeless. That's when this woman in the back stood up wearing a floral dress and carrying a massive hearse. "Excuse me, Your Honor, but I need to say something." The developer's lawyer spun around looking annoyed. "This is a closed hearing, you can't just interrupt." But the judge looked curious. "Who are you?" "I'm the county clerk from Permits and Records. I've worked there for 32 years processing every single building permit in this county." The lawyer tried to object, but the judge waved him off. She pointed right at the developer. "This man filed permits for that subdivision using your dad's contractor license number. But here's what's interesting. 3 months after your dad finished, he filed permits for additional work on those same houses. Listed a different contractor, different crew, said it was renovation work. But I pulled the permits from his other projects too, and he's done this exact same thing before. Twice, actually." The courtroom went dead silent. The judge leaned forward. "You have proof of this." She walked to the bench and handed him a folder. "That's permits going back 4 years showing the same pattern with 3 different contractors. He files the lawsuits right before the license suspension would hit for unpaid permits. Uses the lawsuit to claim the contractor abandoned the job while he keeps all the buyer payments and pays nobody." The developer's face went completely white. His lawyer started shuffling papers, frantically looking panicked. The woman kept going. "I didn't connect it until I saw the hearing notice posted and recognized his company name. I brought copies of everything. Permits, complaints, 3 separate contractor board investigations that he somehow managed to avoid." The judge spent 5 minutes reading through the documents, his face getting angrier with each page. Then he looked directly at the developer. "Criminal fraud charges will be filed today. As for this lawsuit, it's dismissed with prejudice." He turned to my dad. "File a countersuit for your full contract amount plus damages, and this court will expedite it." My dad got paid everything he was owed, plus another $60,000 for legal fees and damages. The developer's facing 10 years. 2 other contractors came forward after seeing the news because he'd done the same exact thing to them, but they were too broke to fight it in court.